The number 2 overall pick is on a major league mound less than a calendar year after he was selected by the Cincinnati Reds. Chase Burns splashes in the show, tangling with the first place New York Yankees.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Monacan. Today is Wednesday, June 25th, and it is hot. My AC doesn't work, my Wi-Fi is in and out, and I've changed shirts like 4 times already. I kind of smell. Life is hard. But do you know who may have had it harder? Reds top prospect Chase Burns, who had to make his MLB debut against the Yankees yesterday. He did something that hasn't been done in at least 64 years. That NL Central is getting tight. The Tigers are halfway to 100 wins. And hey, Yankees, look out for those Rays. Let's get to it. Before his debut game against the Yankees on Tuesday night, the Reds' number 2 prospect and baseball's number 11 overall prospect Chase Burns sounded less nervous than excited to face one of the most famous franchises in all of sports. Quote, "It's a historical team. I'm going against a great lineup," Burns said. "One of my favorite teams growing up. I loved Derek Jeter. To be able to go against them is awesome." Yeah, Chase, well, we'll see how you feel when you're actually on the pitcher's mound facing a lineup of 3 former MVPs and...
Swing and a miss, that devastating slider. First man face, struck out by Chase Burns. Struck him out. Back-to-back Ks. Struck him out.
Chase Burns strikes out the side in his first big league inning.
Okay, sure. You got through the reigning MVP. He does strike out a lot. But what about 2 more MVPs? Surely you can't...
4 consecutive strikeouts to begin his big league career. Struck him out. 5 in a row.
Yes, Burns struck out the first 5 batters of his MLB career. Per Elias, he's the first starting pitcher in at least the expansion era since 1961 to strike out the first 5 batters faced in his MLB debut. The 23-year-old ended up giving up 3 runs, 1 on a Ben Rice solo shot over 5 innings with 8 strikeouts. But the Reds would not let their pitcher's brilliant start to his career go to waste. With the bases loaded in the 7th, Christian Encarnacion Strand said, "Here you go, Chase."
That is smoked to left field. Stevenson scores, Hines on his heels, Trevino giving the wave to tie it, the relay, not in time, tie game!
The game went into extras, tied at 3. The Yankees scored a run in the top of the 11th, but after an Elly De La Cruz hustle single in the bottom of the 11th, the Reds tied the game again, and then pinch hitter Gavin Lux came up with the bases loaded, and Lux be a Gavin tonight.
Center field, down for a hit, De La Cruz scores and the Reds win!
A memorable night for Burns and a 5-4 Reds victory. For much of this season, the Cubs have looked like the runaway favorites in the NL Central. They've been in first place since April 4th. That's a span of 68 games. That's pretty good. But over the last couple weeks, the Cardinals and Brewers have been sneaking up on the North Siders. And St. Louis is hosting their rival Cubs in a 4-game set this week. They beat Chicago 8-2 on Monday, and things started off well again for the Redbirds last night.
High towering fly to right. Tucker going back as far as he can go. Nootbaar hits a 2-run bomb off the back wall of the bullpen.
Nootbaar. 2-0 St. Louis. But the Cubs came back to score 5 in the next half inning to make it 5-2, helped by Seiya Suzuki's 21st dinger of the year.
Swing and a drive, left field. That's back. That's gone. Seiya Suzuki is 21st, and just like that, the Cubs have a 5-2 lead.
But those Cards, those gritty Cards, would fight right back. Mason Wynn hit a 2-run homer to get within 1. Nolan Gorman homered to tie things at 5. And then Mason Wynn, there's a reason his name is Wynn, gave St. Louis the eventual win.
Swing, line drive, fair and into the corner. Baez will score. Here comes Victor. His helmet's flying. He will score without a throw. The Cardinals have come back to take the lead.
A trio of St. Louis relievers bent, but they did not break, to give St. Louis an 8-7 victory. The Cards are now just 2.5 games behind the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Could the Brewers also get to just 2.5 games back of the Cubs? Yeah, they could.
And a fly ball to left. Well struck and down the hill. Joey Ortiz, number 3.
Joey Ortiz, a 2-run homer in the third inning to make it 2-0 Milwaukee. In the fourth, it was Caleb Durbin time.
There's a fly ball to left, and it's hit a ton, and Durbin leaves the yard.
Home run Durbin? 5-0 Brewers. Ortiz would hit another homer, just his 4th of the season, as the Brewers crushed the Pirates 9-3. Freddie Peralta got his 8th win of the year and lowered his ERA to 2.90 on the season. Things in the NL Central are getting very interesting. Coming up, guess who the first team to 50 wins is? It roars, it has stripes, and it'll probably eat you alive. That's after the break. The Tigers have far and away been the most consistently good team in baseball this season. While the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers and the Cubs have gone up and down, Detroit has pretty much maintained their rule of the major leagues. And on the cusp of their 50th win on Tuesday, they once again delivered. It helps when your reigning Cy Young pitcher is on the mound.
Cold strike 3, a parachute, a cyclone of a slider.
Terry Skubal lets out a primal yell.
Although he gave up 4 runs early, Skubal settled in and struck out 8 over 6 innings to get to his AL-leading 9th win of the year. He now also has a 2.29 ERA. Riley Green had 4 hits and 2 RBIs, while Kerry Carpenter added his 14th homer. And Dylan Dingler, that's a good name, added his 8th. The Gritty Tigers were the first team to 30 wins, the first to 40, and now they're the first to 50. They're 9.5 games up on the second-place Guardians. Go outside and let out a good roar for them. Come on, I can't hear you. Elsewhere around the league, Braves righty Taj Bradley was perfect through 5 1/3 innings and ended up allowing just 2 hits over 6 2/3 to help the Rays to a 5-1 victory over the Royals. Danny Jansen did his 8th home run of the year, while Yandy Diaz had 3 hits, extending his hit streak to 14 games. Most importantly, with the Yankee loss, the Rays are just 1 game back of first place in the AL East. Frankie Montas came back from injury to make his debut for the Mets and pitched 5 scoreless innings against the Braves, but then the bullpen imploded, and the Braves won their 5th straight against New York 7-4. Matt Olson had a double and 3 RBIs. The Braves have won 10 of their last 14 games, while the Mets have not, losing 10 of 11. Shohei Ohtani at Coors Field? Come on, that's not fair.
Ohtani swats it in the air to left field, pushing back to the wall. This ball is out of here.
Shohei hit his 27th homer of the season, and the Dodgers topped the Rockies 9-7. Ranger Suarez and Framber Valdez were locked in an epic pitcher's duel. Both went at least 7 innings, but Cooper Hummel homered off Suarez in the 8th to give the Astros the 1-0 win. Valdez's scoreless 7 got his ERA down to 2.88, while Suarez's run over 7 2/3 got his down to 2.08. Angels #1 prospect Christian Moore had his first huge moment, delivering a game-tying homer in the 8th and then a walk-off 2-run home run in extras to beat the Red Sox 3-2. I think he'll probably stay up with the big club for a little while. For any other news and scores, head on over to MLB.com. That's all for today's morning lineup. Mandy Bell will be back with you tomorrow. Today, at 2:10 p.m. Eastern, we have an absolute dandy for you. Jacob Mizrowski versus Paul Skeens in the Brewers-Pirates matchup. 2 phenoms striking out everybody in the middle of the afternoon. How will you work? Here's some advice. Don't. It's the free MLB.tv game of the day and will also air on MLB Network. As always, please don't forget to leave us a rating and a review, share this podcast with the baseball lovers in your life, and please, stay cool out there.